Good morning, good afternoon, good day, everyone, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome to this webinar, the easiest way to share your Power BI reports, even outside your organization. My name is Melissa, and I'll be your host today. And with me is Martijn, as you can see, from Insuma, and we're going to introduce you to the product Webdashboard today. I've been working at Insuma for roughly 5 years now, in various roles, marketing, and currently as a commercial representative for Webdashboard. Yeah, so I'm compared to Martijn and my other colleagues, we affectionately call our technicians super nerds. I'm not a super nerd. I don't have a technical background, but I am always very amazed by how passionately our developers and engineers work from behind the screen and how they're able to support large and big products, companies, projects from all over the world from behind the screen. So that's shortly about me, Martijn.
Well, hello everybody from wherever you are in the world. I'm Martijn Velte. I work here as a software engineer and have been working here for over 8 years now. I was there at the beginning of Webdashboard, where we're gonna talk a bit about today. So I wrote the first letters of code of the product, so that's cool, and I still do. So that's also a good sign, I guess. Yeah, well, that's me. Let's continue about who we are and what you do and what our product is.
Sure. So if you have any questions or comments during this session, at the top of your screen, you will find a Q&A. I've posted a short message in there already. You can use this to ask your questions. We'll try to answer them in between if there's time at the end. And you can also add some comments. So if you'd like to use this functionality already, I'm curious, we've introduced ourselves briefly. Curious, where are you from? Could be a pretty international audience today, so I'm curious, where are you from? And what sort of reports do you make? Is it like standard management or financial? Could be very specific to your operation or to your industry. But just curious, leave a bit in the comments, in the Q&A, can be anonymously. And then we'll share these a bit. Okay. In a bit. In the meantime, Insuma, we mentioned we work for Insuma. It's a company in the Netherlands, fairly small, already around since the late 1990s. And we have a few business units, and one of these business units focuses on data solutions. Insuma means everything together. And when it comes to data solutions, we do basically everything together. Everything from the extraction of data from multiple sources to modeling and to create that single source of truth all the way towards reports and dashboards to visualize these. So we have backenders, front-enders, they work together to facilitate the complete business intelligence process. But so to have a look at the comments of what people are I see someone from India. They're sharing they're making almost all kind of reports. So that sounds good. Maybe some other people who want to share what they're doing. I see some people are typing somewhere from the Netherlands. Good morning. Mostly financial reports, optimization of processes. Okay. Some more people typing. Seems already a very broad audience. If we have from India, I think it's good afternoon there. Someone from Namibia, wow. Financial project data reports for an engineering firm, cool. So keep on typing, and with Netherlands, again, financial KPI reports. Cool. So keep on typing. And in the meantime, you've all made your reports, as I can see from this. Now what? A few weeks ago, we were at a users day in the Netherlands from Power BI. Maybe the people who are joining today were there as well. And we talked to a lot of people, and sharing keeps on being an issue, and especially if it's sharing outside of your company. There were people who said, yeah, we just take a screenshot or we email without considering, like, is this really safe or is this not safe? PDF, that's still a popular thing, but then you kind of lose the interactivity of your report, right? Even have people saying to us, like, okay, we don't want to share externally yet because we don't know whether it's safe, or we don't want to share externally because we don't know how to. So sharing keeps on being interesting topic, and to us, that's the next step of the process. You've made your report, you visualized it, and then sharing is the next step. And that is what Martijn is going to tell you about today. So Martijn.
Yeah, well, thank you for this small introduction, Melissa. Let's go back in time. Back in the days, 2015, 2016, 2015, the launch of Power BI was there, and we adopted it very early. When it came available, we started using it. Well, with that use, there came a lot of questions from especially our customers. So back in the days, it was harder to share, even more harder to share than it's now. For inside, it's okay, but externally, it's still not that easy or not straightforward. So, but we got that question a lot back in the days. They want to share with like 30,000 users, and well, can you help us, because we don't know how we can achieve this. Well, and that's inside and either outside. Outside was even more hard, and it still is, but you will see today. Well, navigation and user friendliness. I also got an example of our own CEO. Back in the days, we had new solar panels installed on our roof. And of course, when you install them, you want to see how they perform, because it's new and you want to see, well, how do they do, etc. So a colleague made a report and then published it to Power BI services. He said, well, you can find it here, and well, have fun with it. And then our CEO said, I can't find it. I don't know where to click. It's too complicated. Why is it so hard to find this report? So that also opened our eyes. Okay, navigation and user friendliness is very important. We need to be there as fast as we can. And branding was also a question we got a lot, because companies want to share their report, but they want to share it their own way, in their own brand, in their own style. And not only the report itself, but also the presenting around it. So if you go to App and Power BI services, nowadays, I'll tell you later on, there are some options to tweak this, but back in the days, there were none. So what did we do for our customers back in the days? Well, we did custom development. So every time a client came to us and said, well, I want to share this report brandedly, I want the portal to look like this, and etc., etc. I want it to be on a website. And we said, okay, we can do that for you. There's no problem. We just create some custom code for you. And there you go. You can share your reports. But we did this more often and more often. So we saw a pattern of similar challenges we got every day again. So we thought, can this be done easier, faster, and more cost efficiently? Because doing the same thing, copy paste and change slightly different things, that's just not ideal. So yes, it can. In 2017, we came up to develop our own reporting portal, nowadays called Webdashboard. But before that, we just created a focus group of several clients or customers from different branches, so we could cover all the needs they would have to, or they would like in such a portal. So we made a desired featured list, but we didn't do it ourselves. We asked our customers to do it with us. So we came up with, at the beginning, this list. It's longer now, but of course, back in the days, we needed to start somewhere. And those things you can see on the screen now were some that came out of those sessions that would be really important. So we also will go over some of those features we implemented, of course. So, well, we got the list of the desired features. And now we should ask ourselves, what now? What are we going to do? Because we know what we want to build, but how are we going to build this? And how does this fit within the licensing options Power BI offers us? Because it's still hard to understand the total licensing model of Microsoft, but back in the days, it was even more hard because there was just no documentation yet. So we were a gold partner back in the days. Now we are a solution partner. And we should just shoot in a ticket. We want to know more about how does this work? Can you please explain us? Then we ended up all the way in Israel. There was the product owner of Power BI at that time. And he explained us, okay, we got a different models. You can use this or this. And then we really got the information we were looking for to start the developing of our own portal. So it's quite fun that we had to just do it by a support ticket, and all the way in Israel, a guy could tell us how should we do this. So today we're going to share this information also with you, how it's today. So let's dive into that. Let's assume I'm a Power BI specialist. I just made up a brand new report for a client, and I want to share it with them. So first of all, what do I need to do? I need to publish it to Power BI services. So let's try this. Oh, first, I forgot one slide. I'm sorry. First, I want to give you some extra information about a global Power BI environment. So here you can see, like, most basically how the data processing works. You collect data, you put it in a lakehouse or a warehouse, you visualize those in Power BI, and then after that you want to share it to your viewers. So as you can see here, you got like two roles, you should say, the BI specialist, or maybe the developer, and the viewer, so the consumer of our dashboards. And we find that Microsoft, their focus, and it's a good thing, they focus on the BI/the technical specialists, because that's why their product is so good and the product works so well. So Power BI gets better and better. Now they got App Fabric, so they really push an effort into make it easier for us as specialists to collect data, to structure data, to visualize data. But in the end, as Melissa told you in the beginning of this session, well, that's all done, right? And now we want to share it to anybody who needs to look at it. And our focus of our product is more on this side of the spectrum. So we want to share, and we want to make it for the viewers, so CEOs, customers, suppliers. We want to make it as easy as possible to view whatever they want to see.
Yeah, because keep in mind, these people usually don't have the Power BI skills or the business intelligence knowledge even that you guys probably have. Like we mentioned, our CEO, for example, he got lost because he doesn't have these insights. And if this might happen to you as well, you make a fantastic report, but then what if it's not seen by the right people because they don't know how to get to it or how to see it?
Yeah. So, okay, that's being said, Webdashboard was launched from our customer struggles. So we started developing in 2017, a year of hard development and refinements and rework. And then in 2018, we were ready for the launch of Webdashboard. So it got the first time into the world, but it was very exciting for us. Well, we had one philosophy, and it's very simple. We need to ensure that viewers can always navigate to where they want to be within 2 clicks, because then it's easy and it's not hard to find information. We want to share it with anyone, and there should be no extra things needed at just an email address with an email box. So Mac users or no Windows account, just an email address. Branding, it should feel like your own. So it should feel like it's your software, it's your company, it's breathing your company. So it's more, well, let's say accepted within the company and easy, more easy taken from users who want a few reports. Then as last one, we got also got the option to white label it. What I mean by that is that it also is in your domain. It's really, you can customize everything. So you won't even recognize anymore it's Webdashboard. It's just your reporting tool for your business. But we will dive in that very soon. Okay, well, back to our struggles. One of them was sharing with anyone. It's one of our big issues. We really, yeah, well, the customers had really challenging, especially back in the days, to okay, how can I share these reports? How do I get them to the right users? So now, let's assume I'm Power BI specialist. I just finished my report. I think it's awesome, and I wanna share it to the customers. But first, I'm not that good at logos and colors, etc. So first, I want to show it to Melissa from marketing, and ask Melissa, hey, can you watch this report? Is it finalized to send to our clients? Well, first thing I do is publish it to app services within Microsoft Power BI, and then get this message. Only users with certain Power BI licenses can publish to this workspace. Okay, well, that certainly tells me there are more than one license here, because certain Power BI licenses is not that specific. Well, let me dive into that. Let me buy the easiest one I can find, just a pro license for myself, and try this again. So, well, it worked published. Now I send it over to Melissa. I say, hey, can you watch this report for me, Melissa? And then
Say, I sent Martijn the screenshot, like, okay, that's all I see.
yeah, so okay. Well, Melissa, let me see if you can fix this. And of course we can. I just buy another Power BI license for Melissa, add it to her account, and let's try this again. Well, when that was done, she could watch the report, she could give her feedback, and of course I had to change the logo because that's me. I'm not good at logos. Well, there's one question we really get a lot, and that's, can you please explain the licensing model, the different options, and the consequences that will have if I choose one. So I'm wondering, leave it in the chat. Did you guys ever got those questions from customers, or maybe have those questions yourself? Because, well, it's really a thing in our support box about licensing, not our own model, but also the Microsoft model. So let's dive into that. Power BI licensing. Well, we can split it up in two bigger sections, let's say. So on the left-hand side here, we got the per user options, and on the right-hand side, we got capacity options. The difference between the two, well, it's pretty simple. It's just in the word. Per user means really per user, so everybody needs one. And capacity is not per user, but like per workspace in this case. Let's start with the per user ones. Okay, if you go with Pro, it will cost you $9.40 a month a user, and you've got some limitation on refreshes, storage, etc. So pretty straightforward. The example I just gave, I bought me one, I bought Melissa one, and I was able to share inside of my own company. Then we got the premium per user. That will give you extra. It costs almost twice as much, but it gives you extra features to use, and also more compute power. So just more hardware in the background, more storage, more refreshes, etc. So, well, it costs double as much, but you also get a lot more features. Then you got the capacity side of the slide, and that starts with the embedded one. You can see the price range is very, very large. That is because of, well, basically the hardware you put beneath. How bigger you go, how more compute power you want, the much more you pay. So it's like how Azure works. It's pay per use. One of the advantages of the embedded capacity option is that it can be paused. So meaning if you think, well, I don't use it at night, my customers don't use it at night, let's just put it off, and I'll pay the half of the money. So that's really a great solution for that, to make it more cost efficient. On the other side, we will see that later on, but you need custom development to share a report. I will tell you on the next slide what's that all about. And keep in mind viewers, so that's bold there, because viewers don't need a pro license, meaning everybody who's consuming the report, watching them, don't need a license anymore. But you or the most in the audience, I think, as Power BI specialists or Power BI developers, still need a pro license to be able to publish to the Power BI servers. Then we got premium. And premium, you should say, okay, that's easy. We got embedded and premium. Well, that's true. But you've also got where divided premium options. So you got EMQ is what it's called. It's almost the same as the embedded version, but slightly different. I will tell you in a moment. And then you got the premium SKU, so P SKU, and that's very expensive, but also a complete solution. One of the downsides of this solution is it's paid per month or billed per month, and it can't be passed. So meaning if you go for this license, you just have committed you to that amount of money every month, and you can split it up or something. One of the advantages, you get access to app.powerbi.com, which you don't get on the embedded version, and that's why you need custom development to share your reports. But also viewers don't need a pro license. That's the same as before. So still, if you pay like almost 46,000 a month, or a bit more even, you still need the pro license to publish your reports to their servers. So keep that in mind. Well, we built a share, right? So we choose one of those models, and then what are the consequences of this? What should I know about it? Well, the per user options are basically for both, it's the same. Everybody needs to be in your tenant. So that can be just stands here a guest party, because if you got a lot of different customers from different tenants, you all have to invite them to yours to be able to share with them. So keep that in mind. And also everybody needs a license. So either they take it with them, so they got it on another tenant and they take it with them to your tenant, that's an option. Or you buy them one in your tenant. Well, it's administrative challenge. But you get access to app.powerbi.com, because that's the place where you can put your reports and share them with other users. Embedded. Well, as I said before, this requires custom development, which can be costly. We all know developers are not cheap. And then you have to make a very good requirements list on what do I want, and because maybe it might be slightly different than you expected. And whenever that's done, it always requires maintenance, and that will ensure additional costs on top, because then there's a new Azure update or a .NET update or whatever update you can think of. You want to put it in your software, or maybe there's a new feature in Power BI that you also want to use, etc., etc. And one of the downsides, well, maybe it's not downsides, but you have no access to app and Power BI.com, meaning that's why we need the custom development to show the reports to another person. Premium, remember we had two SKUs. We got the EM SKU and the P SKU. In the M one, you can still do the same thing as you can do in the embedded. So just do it with custom development, or you can use some limited apps. So Microsoft Apps, SharePoint, Teams, PowerPoint. There are also options to share if you go with this SKU. If you go to the bigger one, so the premium, the complete solution, then you get access to powerbi.com and you can share your reports over there. But keep in mind, everybody still needs to be in your tenant to get that all done. So that's really something you should consider. Do I want that? Well, then about Webdashboard. I guess you already noticed we did a lot of development, so custom development to show our reports through our portal. So we built a product on the embedded capacity licensing model. And therefore we got different versions, but I will tell you later on in the presentation. But well, the advantage of using Webdashboard is that we already did this development and we do that every day. So there will come new features, and they're faster than Microsoft, because if you ask something to get added in App and Power BI and services, you can go to their forum and you can add an entry and you can wait thumbs up, implement this. And Microsoft is big, right? So it can take a while till that's implemented, and we are not as big as Microsoft, so we can pick up features more easy and more and faster. Okay, well, still we built a share. Let's show you how I think you should share within completely Power BI with your viewers from a viewer's perspective. So keep in mind viewer's perspective, because You can share reports from Power BI a lot of ways. As Melissa told you before, we heard people just making screenshots via the Power BI API to make PDFs and email them, etc. But I think this way is the most easy and nice way if you want to do it all in Power BI from a viewer's perspective. So first of all, you build your report and you publish them to Power BI. That's pretty straightforward. Then the second one, make sure the audience is available in your tenant, and therefore they do need a Microsoft account. So if you want to invite them to your organization, but they do not have a Microsoft account, they should create one first, and then they can get invited. Third option, the first step should be every viewer needs have a Power BI license. How you do that, that's up to you. A few slides back, we discussed the different options you got. So you can buy everyone a license, you can go capacity, that's completely up to you, but you need to have all the viewers and developers covered with a license. Then 4, make Power BI app and configure the audiences. Well, back in the days, the app wasn't a thing, so they did something to make it more easy to share with your viewers, which is great to see that they do something about it, right? Because in the beginning, it really was a struggle. Now you can make an app and you can configure different audiences. So this person should see this report and this person should see this report. Well, when you did all that administrative things, you're ready to publish your app. And whenever you do, then you get an option to share it with other users. Now keep in mind, on the top of the slide, you can see those steps are inside and there are some more steps to go outside your organization. So these 5 steps are purely for sharing them inside. So whenever you publish the app, you get a link you can share with your audience. And if it's internally, you can also share, ask them to go to powerbi.com, log in and go to the apps, and they'll see your app if they got any rights on it. And then we'll be able to click into the app and see the reports. When you go outside, make sure the people you want to show the reports don't lose this link, because if they do, they will never find the app again. And that is because if they log into app@powerbi.com, they will log into their own organization, and there isn't the app you published isn't in their organization, is in yours. So in the link, there's provided the tenant ID where it should land on the right tenant to show your app with your report. So keep in mind they should not lose this link, because well, else they can find it and have to ask you again, where is it, etc., etc. And then step 7, it's depending on step 3. If you go per user option, as Melissa and I did previously, keep in mind those licenses are user coupled. So meaning Melissa says, well, I got another challenge somewhere else, I'm going to leave the company. Okay, Melissa, well, that's unfortunate, but we understand. I got a new colleague, let's say she's so-called Floor or something, and I will first need to remove the license from Melissa, remove her account, and add a license to Floor so she can see the report again. So keep that in mind. Also, on the bottom of this slide, I showed in the bold text which person or maybe department you're going to need to realize this step. Because in most companies, the BI specialist is not capable of inviting users to their tenant. They have to call the IT department, and then we have to say, you have to invite this user. You hang up the phone, and then the next step, oh wait, but I also need to add a license, so you need to call again. So it can be a really administrative hurdle to get you all set up, and you have to do that every time again. So you got a new client, invite them, etc., etc., etc. So it can be done in Power BI, but in my opinion, it's not that smooth as it should be. So how to share in Webdashboard? Well, as I told you before, our philosophy is very simple. Ensure that viewers can always navigate to where they want to be within 2 clicks. So how are we going to achieve that within our product? Well, inside or outside your tenant, does it make a difference at all? So that's great. First, we build, again, a report. Then we publish the report on Webdashboard. That's basically the same thing as publish it to a workspace, as you should normally do, but this workspace is coupled to one of our capacity servers, or on your own server, but we will discuss that later. Then make sure you have enough Web Dashboard licenses. Web Dashboard licenses are just, let's say, a bag of licenses. So we got a bag of 10 licenses. You can view to 10 different viewers, but they're not user coupled. So if Melissa leaves the company, I just remove Melissa from Web Dashboard and add a new one in, and that's fine. You don't have to manage all those personal attached licenses. Then when that's done, invite your viewers with just an email address. So if the email address has an email box, that's enough. We also got the option to use Entra to make a coupling with Entra or with Google Workspace. And even on top of that, you can also add multiple ones. So if you have customers that all use different Entra or Google Workspaces, you can combine them and also combine them with just email address users. So that's very powerful, I guess. And then you manage your reports and audiences, and the people are able to view their reports. Also keep in mind in this slide on the bottom of the slide, you can always do this by yourself. Of course, if you have an Entra coupling, you need to get to the IT department to sort some things out. But
That's only
but it's only once. When that's done, then you're settled, and the BI specialist can do all the managing himself, or program to our development APIs and automate it. Also, maybe even more option. There are more options. Well, okay, let's continue. Told you about the Power BI app, the slide on how to share within Power BI. How does that look? Well, I told you about the link. This is one of them, very easy to remember. I can name this out of my head every day if somebody wants to see my app, because that's really great. And whenever I click on this link, I will see a nice login screen from Microsoft. And when I log in, I'll see the app. So for some or some audiences, this might be enough, right? You can edit the logo on the left on the side. You can change some colors on the top and on the left. That's predefined colors, no hex or RGB codes, unfortunately. But let's say back in the days 2015 and now, it's a lot better, I can tell you. Well, how does this look when using Web Dashboard? So for today, we made up Lego that they're going to use our Web Dashboard. That's just an example. And I could imagine they want to use this link. Well, okay, you click on this link, then you will get routed to the login page, which will look like with your own logo, your own background. And then whenever you log in, for today, we made like an example how you could customize Web Dashboard to be it's more like Lego in this case. So yeah, that's different as a bit different how we are able to change things and how Power BI is able to change things. Well, let's get back to our customer struggles. Well, branding and white labeling was also one we got a lot back in the days. As we said, we did custom development over and over and over again, and we didn't want to do that again. So let's give us an example of what we can do with our software, how you can make it feel like your own. So I guess everybody knows this company, the awesomecoffeecompany.com. And we tried here to make it feel like the awesomecoffeecompany.com. Keep in mind, everything you see on the screen can be customized. Later on in this webinar, we will show you briefly how to do that and show it your live what are the possibilities. And you got also another example about this is exactly the same portal with the same report, just a different layout and totally different pictures and different colors. So then you're going to have your awesome streaming service.com, but it's still all Web Dashboard and it looks completely different. Well, when we got navigation and user friendliness, remember the example of our own very Microsoft-minded CEO. That he was really bashing Power BI about his navigation and why is this so hard to find? I can't find it. So that did tell us, okay, we have to do something about this. Well, and why should you do something about it? Well, time is money. Findability just as important. If somebody can't find it, how higher they in the tree of the company, how higher their C level is. They're probably the most expensive people in the company, and they just want to waste time on it. That's basically what it is. So don't overcomplicate your navigation. Make it as easy as possible. 2 clicks and you're there. Also, don't overcomplicate your reports. I really want to challenge you guys. Whenever you make a report, I'm a developer. I'm an engineer. I know I want to push everything to the limit and do whatever I can. So this, and I can also this. How look how awesome this is. And of course, I think it's very awesome. But the viewer thinks, well, I don't need that. I just need 4 KPIs, and I can go to sleep if they're all green, because then it's a good day. So keep that in mind. And how can you achieve all those things? Well, with a network, we really thought about insight in insights. What do I mean by that? Well, whenever you made a report, you managed to share the report, then it's important. Who watched this report? How often did they watch this report? Or maybe the most important, or more important, this person should have watched this report, but he didn't watch the report for the last 3 months, for example. That's very interesting information, because if you know that, you can ask yourself, well, why has that happened? Is the person just lazy? Probably not. Couldn't he find it? Or then you can level up your approach of getting to reports more easy with a more user-friendly navigation, or maybe a less overwhelming report with KPIs he just doesn't need. Okay, let's talk a bit more about web dashboard versions. I mentioned it a couple of times within my presentation, but with web dashboard, we really wanted to give opportunity to our customers from a huge perspective and a smaller perspective. So let's say freelancers, small, medium-sized enterprises. I can imagine a capacity server or maybe a premium SKU or whatever you choose from all those licensing types is just too expensive and you can't afford. So we made 2 versions. We got the standard version, which is basically we buy capacity and we share it with an algorithm on all our customers. So you can start smaller. So you could just start from $8.99 per user per month, and you can grow in time. And whenever you grow bigger, then you can always think, okay, now I'm ready to go enterprise and take the bigger package. So as you can see here, we also got the enterprise package. What we ask there is that you buy your embedded capacity server yourself. So you're really are in control of all the data, what's in there. You're in control of where the server might be located, wherever in the world. And you can, on top of that, you will put the Web Dashboard Enterprise licensing model, we'll start from 500 viewers, I should say, within Web Dashboard. So if you calculate that, it's really a nice offer to see, because the enterprise capacity, of course, it's money, because all the custom development and stuff, we do that for you within our subscription. So we're always open for new features and new ideas, etc., etc. Just leave them in our box, and we will definitely look into that.
And something to note still with the per user, it says it in Breakfast as well. It includes your Power BI license, so you don't need Power BI on top of it.
No, so that's the difference between standard. Then we are completely no hurdle with Power BI licensing. We manage it all for you. And when you grow bigger, you think, well, I want to share with very, very lot of people. And then you might go to enterprise, and then you have to buy your own licenses. But of course, we can also help you with that and help you with set it up if needed. Okay, well, let's show some short feature list. It's just it's not it's just a small list here. We got a lot of more features, but we want to highlight some of them here. So manage users report easily, make it your own, teaming and branding, 2-click navigation, tell your data story. So sometimes it's not enough just to show a report. Maybe you want to give some extra context or some extra information about your report. We got shortcuts to a report with a filter. So you want to show just maybe a user-based or logged-in user-based. You want to show different information with one click. We can do that. Slideshows, as you see the screenshot here on the slide, that's a warehouse in America where they use Webdashboard. We also got the slideshow functionality built in for, well, example, screens in a hall or something. Just a month ago, we introduced customizable fonts. So you can even go level up your branding even more with also your own fonts if you would like. You can temporarily close reports for viewers. That was a request we got back in the days a lot because they don't want to remove the report, they just want to close it. So they can fix some stuff and then open it again and don't have to add all the settings again because they deleted it. You can also analyze your reports on a model level. So what we did with that dashboard is make a bit of a tool also for the BI specialist. So we really focus on the viewer, but we also got some functionality for the BI specialist. And this specific feature gives you insights in your model. How are different tables linked to each other? Do I have maybe fields I don't use, but they are in the report, so you can optimize your report, should say. Well, enough talking, I guess, Melissa, about which slides, etc. We just want to show you some live action of our product. So, are there any questions, Melissa?
In the meantime, if people have questions, feel free to plop those in either the chat or the Q&A at the top. And then we can show it. And in the meantime, Martijn can open web dashboard.
Well, let's do that. Let's put it in the right screen. So let's dive into our software. First, let's log in.
I see you see Gmail. That's incoming.
Yeah, I'm using Gmail. Yeah, with no Microsoft account.
That's the deal already.
Okay, well, I'm logged into the portal. This is from an admin perspective, so somebody who, well, is a Power BI specialist, for example, who wants to share his reports with his audience. And well, the first thing, of course, you want to do is, well, how do I put a report into Webdashboard to show it to anyone? Well, we start first with creating a workspace. Let's call this one sales, for example. So then we got a sales workspace where you can add some widgets here on the main page of the workspace, but we'll show you later. First thing you want to do is just add a report. Okay, I can add the plus sign here, and what it will do is show me the reports that are already in the background within Power BI services. So in this case, you see two. But I don't want one of these two. I want to add a new one. So let me open up. If I can go to Power BI Desktop. I guess that's for the most of you is familiar. What I should do in this case, when you create a Power BI or a web dashboard environment, you will get what we call a publish account. That's an account with a pro license on it, on top of it. And that's also coupled to one of the capacity workspaces behind the scenes. So this one is demoportal@webdashboard.com. That's my publish account. And to say I want to publish this report, I just press publish. As I would do normally. You want to save? Yes. Apply this later. And then you will see the Web Dashboard workspace on the background. In this case, it's Web Dashboard Demo Portal. If you nowadays create a Web Dashboard account, it should be something like prop VDB publish workspace and then a number behind it. If you select this one and you publish the cycle in PBX to Power BI, it will take a minute. And I'm sure most of you guys have done this a couple of thousand times. Okay, that's set success. Let's go back to Web Dashboard again. Let me show that. Where it is. Here it is. And now add the report we just uploaded it. So, well, as you can see, the cycles report now came available here. I simply just check the box, and then it's added to Web Dashboard. There's also an option to manually upload your PBX files if you'd like, but I think pushing them through desktop is more easy. Whenever that's done, you can see the report is in Web Dashboard and can be shown. So that's how simple it is. Just one click on the workspace, one click on the reports, and I'm there. Okay. Well, I can see this report, but now I want to show it to someone else. How can I do this? Well, there are several ways to get in this screen, but let's use this one. Here you got an option to change the security of this workspace. So let's say I'm a client user, so this is my user account, needs access to this workspace, and I'll say link this users, and then that's done. And whenever I now log in with the user account, so let's do that. Just the same one, but without a dot. And whenever I log in now, you can see I only got rights on sales workspace, and I can open up this report because I just added the rights for this person. So this is from the viewer's perspective. So he can only see what he needs to see or what he is allowed to see, but it's also very clean. I don't have the settings options. I can search for stuff. But well, that's it. So from a viewer, especially somebody who just want to consume reports, don't want to hesitate, the hassle about all the settings and stuff, you can just log in and click on the report, and that's it. You can even go to this direct link, and then it will open up the report immediately. But well, that's pretty much whatever he can do. So let's go back to my admin account to show you some more features. So let's see. Why does it? Yeah. Okay. We're back. Well, I just added a user.
Sorry.
To this workspace, but now how can I manage users in the first place? Well, we got a user section, user management section. And if I just wanted to invite a new one, I have a few options. One of them is just new, and that's the one you just need an email address, and in this case, a full name, and that's it. So then the person will get invited and will be able to log into the portal. Of course, you still have to set up your security about which reports or which workspaces should the person see, yes or no. Then we got the CSV option. So if you think, oh, well, I want to add a lot of users that are not Entra or Google, just email people, you can also do that by bulk. And in this particular case, I already set up the Entra and the Google. Can you mute that maybe?
Yeah, I'm looking if I can mute it.
Also, the import from Entra or Workspace, you can do that here. So in this case, it's already coupled. And there are also options for groups with this. Just let's say go to group management. You see here, I just added the Entra group. There is an option to sync those. What do I mean by that? Is that whenever a customer or yourself has an Entra group already completely done with the right security, etc., then you can say, okay, all these users in this group, I want to be synced them to Web Dashboard, so they will be automatically added in or removed whenever they are added in or removed from the Entra group. And I will give this Entra group rights to one of the workspaces. Then your security level is still in Azure, but Web Dashboard will just sync it, let's say. Well, if you're not an Entra user, you can also work with local groups. So you could maybe create a group for every customer, add the right persons into this group, and then add rights from this group to show which workspaces you should see, the yes or the no. So that's briefly and fast how user management works. We got a lot of options you can do just by our dev API, etc. So you don't always have to do it in the interface, but some people like it in the interface. Some people like to do it through APIs, but you've got a lot of options.
That's also someone asked indeed, how do we add new users outside our company? I hope that answers your question just by adding the email. That's an option.
Yeah, so yeah, you've got different options. So depending on the customer, if they have an email address, that's fine enough. But maybe they have an Entra environment or a Google Workspace environment. You can add those, and you can also add multiple. So here you see our identity providers options. There's just one in here right now, but you can add multiple. So if you have two customers that are using Entra and one customer that are using Google, and a customer that doesn't have either, you can all combine them and get them into the system. So is there any more questions about it? Just ask and I will answer them.
Yes, one is asking, do you also have two-factor security with your login?
Yes, you can add that on a user level or on the portal level. If you set that up on a portal level, then everybody who's getting into portal needs to set up MFA. So it's not it's not like how do you say it? It's not you have to, like, let's say you have to. You can, it's not an option, a decision to choose not to if you set it up on a portal level. And of course, whenever you use an identity provider to log in, then you will be rerouted to either Microsoft or Google. Then you have to completely set it up there, because we just implemented OpenID, if that's familiar for you. But the login will be completely done through the identity provider, and we will then reroute to Webdashboard. I can show you maybe later on how that works. Well, in the presentation, we also talked a lot about branding and theming and how you should be able to customize your portal completely to your needs. Well, let's show you. In Webdashboard, you can go to theme, and then you will go to this screen, and you can literally change everything. So let's say I want to have this top bar red. Maybe I should ask Melissa to do this because I'm not very good with colors. But okay. Let's, for example, say
between, if I may, another question on how are users authenticated? Someone asked this.
How are users? Well, we use OAuth. Does that answer your question? So just with OAuth bearer tokens, they will have a bearer token with a certain lifespan. You can also set this lifespan. So if you think I just want this token only to be available for 10 minutes, you can set that up. Normally we put it on an hour, but you can change it, because some companies said I don't feel safe for tokens that are longer available for 10 minutes. Then you can set it up for 10 minutes. So they authenticate through OAuth. Does that answer your question, or?
I hope so. Otherwise, we can reach out after.
Okay, well, you can change literally everything. You can change the drawer menu to whatever color you want it to be. Well, let's say I think this is nice, then I will save it. And I'll say yes, and then it looks like this. Well, we can go one step further, and that's with the white label options that can be found over here. And here you can change even the login screen. So before we know who's logged in, it will still look like your own login. So let's show that. So let's say I want to make a Netflix portal. I'll put here the Netflix logo here, and I will put another background that's more Netflix-like. I will put another login logo. And well, that looks fine. Also, I want to change the favicon of this website. And you can see here it changes already. And I want this page to be Netflix. I'll say, okay, let's make it Netflix and save it. And it said Netflix on the top of here. Whenever I now log out, you'll see the old login screen, because that's cache is king, right? Then we will refresh. And we'll see the login screen looks like, well, like Netflix in this case, but it can also be your company. So you should create a trial and try this. Everything in a trial is available, so there are no limitations. Whenever you use a 30-day trial, we do not say, well, this feature isn't allowed for free trials. No, you can use everything. Let's tell you some more about storytelling. In some cases, maybe you want to tell more about the report. Well, therefore, we introduced the widgets. You can see in here all. The favorite and recently used is, well, quite common. You can see whatever that is. A workspace is the same thing, but Also, you can use, this is a text widget, but in this case, there's a background image. You can put text on it. You can put external content. This can either be a Twitter feed or a YouTube video as here. And also you can make, as you can do in Power BI services, you can make a dashboard. You can also do that here on the workspace or on the homepage. You can just add custom visuals from one of the reports. So as you can see, this report, I think it's the tree here. Let's see until it's loaded. That tree is just a visual of this report, and I showed it on the home page. So maybe there is some KPI you want to show all your users instantly when they log in. Then you can use the pin visual option. So we really tried to make an option to do more storytelling. Yeah, well, Melissa, I don't know how much time we still is left over.
Yeah, we still have a few questions, but maybe if you go back to the presentation to put on the screen, then we can answer some more questions. But then
that's good. That's fine.
So if you want to start with Webdashboard, as Martijn mentioned, we have a 30-day free trial with all the features that we showed you and more, of course. And you can just try it out. You can add your reports, add your users, and start sharing safely, of course, with people who you want to share with. So you can scan the QR code. This will lead you to webdashboard.com, and you can plan your free trial or plan a demo. We also have an app. So if you want to check your insights on the go, that's also called the Web Dashboard. So that's if you make a Web Dashboard account on desktop, you can use the same in an app. The last couple of questions, and if you have any questions afterwards, you can also contact us. Our email addresses are on the screen. So that's that. And I see there's one more question about which Microsoft services do we need for enterprise version?
Well, good question. Basically, you only need you need to have an Azure subscription. We can also arrange that for you if you don't have one, but that's one of the things you need. Then you have to buy an embedded capacity server within Azure. You can place it anywhere in the world. Whenever that's done, the only thing that needs to be configured is an app registration with some read information about the capacity, because we need to know where is the capacity, what reports are in that capacity, so we can couple them to our software. But that all goes through app principles. So machine-to-machine authentication always, and that basically are the two things you need within Azure. So Azure Capacity Server and an app principle with the right rights, and that's it.
And this has to be embedded, is asked?
Yes, it has to be an embedded capacity license. The only license you can buy in Azure is embedded, else you have to buy them through Office.
Or Fabric.
Fabric is also through Office.
Yeah. Hope that answers the question. Otherwise, we'll reach out after. Yeah. So just to keep
we can also couple to premium if you'd like, but that's much more expensive, and then you get access to app services. So I'm not sure if that's the right option for you, but it is an option.
Yeah. So they say we might need, so let's schedule the meeting for sure. So again, if you want to try it, or if you want to schedule a meeting, just use the QR code. And with that, I want to thank you today all for joining. I hope you learned something about sharing, and I hope it incentivizes you all to start sharing, because that's why we're making the reports, right? We build to share, we make it to have our insights be seen by the right people. So thank you all, and hopefully see you or speak to you soon. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.